what the big deal about Cracker Jack is. Did you ever go and buy a pack of Cracker Jack thinking you're going to get a prize and find no prize in the box?
You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me.
Freehand is beating his net at the plate. Crawford is over there watching. Good see, sir. You're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on. Oh, I must be in the front row.
Tom Ricketts took the time to speak to the media on Monday. Cubs owner who doesn't always do that. He didn't talk to the media last year to kick off spring training, but he wanted to say some words, including he believes his franchise needs to win more World Series, plural, which I'll agree with.
Yeah, no one's disagreeing with you, Tom.
Yeah, I think you could say that every year, and he chooses not to. For some reason, he wanted to say that this year, but he did want to add to that some advice to fans that he is heeding himself, and to enjoy this season with an obviously ominous overtone, referring to the looming labor strife, the potential lockout beginning this winter, putting in jeopardy the entire 2027 season. So it's kind of an ominous tone to what he was saying. So you can add enjoy the season to the list of quotes from Tom Ricketts over the last few years, including biblical losses and breaking even. Enjoy the season, fans, because this might be the end for a while. That brings up, of course, everything going on with the players union versus the owners. I've got some thoughts on that, but if we're talking about the players union, we've got to talk about the news that broke yesterday of executive president of the players union, Tony Clark, suddenly resigning, out of nowhere. And I saw it in the morning, or heard it on the radio. Then subsequently I heard it was because he was under investigation for essentially embezzling funds from the players union. But it didn't stop there. I mean, that's shocking enough. It didn't stop there. It took the most bizarre turn that no one saw coming, in that his resignation also had to do with him having an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law, which isn't necessarily grounds for firing on its surface. It's bizarre, reprehensible behavior, but it gets even more complicated when you realize that she was employed by the players union since 2023. So he got her a job as part of their relationship. The instant question across social media was raised, was it his brother's wife or his wife's sister? And then which would be worse? I don't even want to get into that. Which side of that would be worse? But it's just a crazy story to have happen at any point, but to have it happen on the eve of this labor strife, the face-off that will be happening in December. There were some rumors that they were going to begin negotiations, at least sitting down maybe this spring, and start to discuss terms instead of waiting until next spring like they did at the last end of the previous CBA. They didn't even talk to each other until, basically on the eve of the season beginning. If they're talking about meeting now, that'd be great, but they just had their leader removed forcibly. It's just insane. I think I actually brought it up last episode, talking about where Scott Boras has been acting as the head of the players union, essentially. And there's been more talk about that, that Tony Clark wasn't the lead negotiator. He was kind of a figurehead in ways. So I think while it's a shocking headline and it's a bizarre headline at that, I don't think it really changes things too much. I don't think it takes leverage away from the players. I don't think it changes the situation as much as it, maybe the shocking headlines make things feel the day of and the day after the news came out. So I'm not sure how big a deal it is. I think Tony Clark was kind of unpopular, actually. I've read a few things. I kind of like the idea of getting somebody new in there anyway. We've kind of keep beating our heads into the wall with the last negotiations for the CBA, and we're going into the same people this time. I think it could be, maybe it's good news that somebody else is coming in there. And, if these rumors were about for years, and they're questioning his leadership and questioning his decision making. Maybe there was some internal strife within the players union that there was some rumors. I remember they were there was a like a coup, but there was a move to actually get a new president a year or two ago that failed. But so maybe it's a unifying thing for the players. But I guess that story will be told throughout the season.
Post-game show is brought to you by Tryst. I can't find it. The hell with it.
One guy poured beer all over my head. The guy said, "How can you take that?" I said, "Look, that man didn't do nothing. He poured some beer on my head. He's just showing he's a White Sox fan. There ain't nothing wrong with that."
Sparky, a million thanks for, as always, the most interesting interview. And now today, let's just have a lot of thrilling baseball and not so many fisticuffs.